Hello, everybody. C. Ray Brower here. Today we've got Krystle-Anne Valdez, and she is going to give us an update on her. We're going to learn a lot about her and some more about the Premier Financial Alliance. And that will be coming up next. And we are back. How's it going, Krystle?
Going well. How about you, C. Ray?
It has been just another day in real estate paradise today.
Love it. I love to hear it. You wake up with sunshine every day, right?
That's right. Be the sunshine in somebody's rainy day all the
I
time.
love it. I love
Well, everybody, Krystle is in my BNI group, and I know a lot about her, but I know none of you know a lot about her. So we're going to get a little bit of knowledge about Krystle, how she ended up in this industry, and we'll start with that. Krystle, where are you at? Where are you located? We'll start with that.
Okay, I am from all over the NorCal area of the Bay Area, California, but I just moved back to East Palo Alto, so right down the street from Stanford University.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. Are you getting a little education or you just
You know
close?
what? I forgot all the education stuff. That's a past life now. It's all business now.
There you go. Very, very nice. Very nice. And what led you into getting into the Premier Financial Alliance, into the insurance industry?
That's a good question, C. Ray, because I was in healthcare for 15 years, so I had no idea or didn't even think I would leave healthcare. But right before the pandemic, I was actually going to go into some masters of nursing programs, and I changed my whole entire career and got into finance. But the reason why was because when I saw the products that this brokerage and the companies that we work with offer, it actually showed me some different ways to help people. Basically, times when times are rough, this is a way that we can be there for them when that happens. So that really tied to me because I've dealt with that a lot in my life with my family and stuff like that.
So you were in the healthcare industry. I know I've heard you say that at the meetings
Yeah.
before, but I've never asked. We've never actually sat down one on one. So, what did you do in the healthcare industry?
I actually was in sleep medicine, so not like beds or anything. So I was in sleep medicine for 15 years. So that's dealing with sleep apnea, narcolepsy, all those things, insomnia. So when people say they can't sleep, that's what we did.
Okay, okay, very good, very good. Yeah, I my bride is a registered nurse, retired registered nurse now, but she always worked cardiac intensive care,
Oh yeah, everybody has
and
the little mask on.
yeah, yeah. So she had told me that I had sleep apnea for many, many years. And I said, no, no, no. I just quit snoring for a little bit. It wakes you up because I snore loud. I don't have sleep apnea. And she made me go to the doctor, and the doctor ran me through some questions
Yep.
and said, nope, you don't have sleep apnea. And I said, I've been trying to tell her that. I'm not tired. I'm up. I get up early. I work late. It's just, I know I don't have the problem. Well, progress about, I don't know, 7, 8 years. And yes, I started,
Oh,
when they honked at the steering wheel, right? Or sitting at my computer and look up and go, 20 minutes have gone by and I haven't typed anything.
oh,
So I went back, and yes, they went to the sleep center and found out, yes, I have sleep apnea. And
slept
so I've been
overnight.
CPAP'd ever since.
Okay, that's awesome. I actually was the I did all the jobs. So I did the intake, I did the measuring of the mass, I watched people sleep, I did all the electrodes on the head. I even showed people how to use their machine. So I like know the whole thing.
The whole thing,
Yeah,
beginning to end.
yeah. So if somebody has problems, I'm like, let me know. I know how to fix that. I still have my
Very nice.
still
So I
carry.
know you talk a lot about the living benefits
Yeah.
of a universal life
Mhm.
policy. Maybe you can explain those a little bit, and then we'll get into a little bit more.
Yeah, when people look at life insurance, so I actually offer all different life insurance. So term, to permanent, so whole life, universal life, index universal life, all of those. But what happens here is, I'm not excited to talk about death. And when people look at life insurance, they think, ah, that's just for when you die. And I'm not excited to talk about that. So I'm excited to talk about life insurance you don't have to die to use. So a lot of people think the living benefits is the cash value that comes from permanent policies, but the real true living benefits is actually these riders that can be used if something happens. Let's say a car accident, cancer, heart attack, stroke. We actually cover a number of things. So if it gets triggered, people can actually use their life insurance instead of their hard earned savings. And that's a big reason I think in your business too that a lot of people end up losing their homes or have to give it up, right? We
Yeah.
seeing it left and right. And I
Oh,
feel like
yeah.
every person I talk to has known someone, if not losing a home, has experienced that indirectly or directly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, it's definitely one of the things that causes problems in people's life. Those accidents, those major medical things, the things that you don't really think about on a day to day basis are the things that impact your entire life. I mean,
Exactly. 'Cause
if you're in an accident, it hurts you physically. Somebody you know gets in an accident, it hurts you physically and emotionally.
right.
But the financial drain of some of those things is just really, really, really beyond help. You talked about riders and add-ons. So um, explain that to people. What a rider and an add-on is to any kind of policy.
Okay, so usually, riders are something that people can add on to their policy. They can come free, maybe it comes at a charge, but there's multiple things that it can cover. Whether you're doing, like with me, it's called accelerated living benefits riders. And actually, with the companies I work with, they're all free, so nobody has to pay another dollar for them. So it covers all of that good stuff. Sometimes you can add a rider to make sure your policy doesn't lapse. You can add, we have riders for people that become unemployed all of a sudden and they need now their premiums. So there's a bunch of different riders out there. So I always encourage people to ask a lot of questions. When you ask questions, you'll know more about your policy. Because when I first opened my very first policy years ago, I just said yes to whatever dollar amount it was, and I had no idea what I had. And I've changed that a lot now. So I'm a deep diver, and I make people deep dive before they even sit down with me.
And that is always a really great thing to do. Questions will always lead you to the correct answer that you're looking
Exactly.
for.
Exactly.
Um, if you're not asking questions, and like you said, it was a dollar amount. It was a
Mm-hmm.
dollar amount. I
Mm-hmm.
can afford $37.43 a
Right.
month,
Right.
and that's all I'm going to spend.
Exactly.
Even though $41 a month would have give you so much more, but you didn't ask the questions and you were stuck on $34.37. No,
Exactly. Yeah,
right?
you
So
never
yeah,
know. All we want to do is add more value, because people may see a budget, but with my company and my brokerage, we try to reallocate funds if we can, so people don't have to spend another dollar, because every dollar matters to us, right?
especially nowadays.
Yeah,
Wow, with the
really.
way things are going in the economy, we really have to watch everything that's going on all the time.
Exactly. So we do like a whole analysis. We really try to look at everything that people are putting their money to. Do they understand where their money is going? And, kind of work from there. Because when I was putting into my life insurance, at first I just did the dollar amount. But the second time I got it, I actually deep dove. I was like, hey, what if I redistribute my money? What if I put it somewhere else? This wasn't working. I'll put this here, and nothing came out of my actual, paycheck anymore. It just came from whatever I was doing already.
You mean you quit drinking so many Starbucks?
Yeah, that was one of them. Hey, I got those for free. That didn't matter. Just kidding. It helps to know the people that work at the Starbucks corner, right?
Way back, long before you were born, the saying was, "My opinion's worth a cup of coffee," and a cup of coffee was a nickel or a dime or a quarter, right? Well, now I always say, well, my opinion's worth $5 because that's what a cup of coffee costs.
It's like 7 now. Inflation is catching up to all of us.
Oh boy, is it ever?
Oh
Is
my
it
God.
ever?
Really, really.
So you said all of your riders are free.
Mhm.
So, but you still choose which riders you put on, or they just come automatically?
They come automatically. So the companies that I work with, they offer those living benefits riders for free on all of their plans. So unless somebody has a reason where they have like a pre-existing condition that already kind of disqualifies them from that, they usually can add them to all of the plans.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Very
why this,
good.
this company really caught my eye. I never thought I would get into insurance. I've heard so many insurance companies, and my family's been in insurance. I was like, yeah, they could do that. And then when I saw this, I was like, I need to tell people. I need to tell people
Right.
what's out here. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. So your family, you say, is in insurance. So
Yeah.
you have other agents in your family that are with different companies, or are they with
Both, like
both?
my company, different brokerages, because my family comes from sales mind. Everybody's like a salesperson. A lot of real estate. So a lot of people left real estate after the 2008 crash. Some people are still doing it. I think my aunt's actually an XP too. But then she also does insurance. I have a lot of family that, they're very business savvy. So I never thought that I could be business savvy, but it comes with the territory. If you follow your heart, everything else will come.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That is the main key in being happy in life is
Right.
follow your heart. Follow your heart. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. So maybe you can explain a little bit about the difference between term and whole life and universal life and the different types of policies.
Yeah, of course. In the history of life insurance, it's really evolved. So in the beginning, term was the one that is the temporary plan. So it means termination. So when it comes to the temporary plan, it's only there for a good amount of time, 10, 15, 20, 30 years, or whatever that may be. But it's the most cost effective. But the thing about those is that they are kind of like car insurance, because if you don't use your funds, you're just going to lose all your premiums. But that works, right? So if it fits your family, that's the best one to do. Okay. The other ones are all considered permanent. And, the thing about permanent plans, while you're putting into them, you're also building yourself a tax free savings you can use as well. So that's one of the things people say is their living benefit. Okay. But what I see with whole life, so whole life came out after term, and that to sometimes people think is too expensive, but it doesn't have to be. People really need to, look at their options. Oh, my baby's coming. So we have another
Cool.
guest. This is
All
Logan,
right.
buddy.
What's up, buddy?
He's watching Cars, so he just wanted to say hi. But yeah, so whole life can be there. It gives you a guaranteed interest rate, and it gives dividends. It depends again if this is what people are looking for. And
Right.
the one that has come out the most recent is called an index universal life. There's so many in between there. So universal life, variable universal life, so all these other plans, but the index universal life is the newest on the market. Not that new. It's not like it's 5 years old. It's like 20 something years old, but it's actually been here for a while. And the difference with that is that because it's indexed, it doesn't actually lose to the market. So whenever the markets crash, you lock in your gains and your principals, and then you never lose your money. So the good thing about that is that it's there forever, but you're just not guaranteed any returns. And that's the one that makes people like, oh, okay, I don't know if that's for me. But again, all the questions you want to ask, make sure you find the one that best fits you.
Right. So the index, there's no guarantee, you said?
No
Did I
guarantee.
get that right?
Hmm.
Okay.
No one guarantee on your returns. So if you're using it also, like, when you talk about the tax-free savings, you're not getting a guaranteed return. Like a whole life is a 5%, as usually a 5% guaranteed return.
Okay. Okay. Well,
Hmm.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And
Okay.
of the difference between the variable and the index,
Hmm.
what would that be?
So variable, it actually goes up and down with the market, and kind of people can kind of choose like allocations, and only certain, you have to actually have a different license to sell the variable universal life. Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, so that's the difference with that one too.
So it's more of an investment
Hmm.
tool rather than well, it is an insurance tool, but it's an
Hmm.
investment tool.
Right, that too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
so
exciting.
there's so many differences. That's why people, like, when you start Googling insurance, you can get super lost. And so that's why I always encourage, to talk to a trusted professional. If you know someone, or you know someone that knows someone, better talk to them, and you can do your comparisons from there. Like, always get an opinion, and make sure that they have your best interest in mind, right? But again, look for the value versus just looking at your budget.
That's true in any industry.
Right.
Google is a wonderful, wonderful tool. The problem is it's a really deep rabbit hole.
It is. Oh my.
And yeah, people get in there and believe everything that they see, or that they actually end up in that side of the rabbit hole, and it may not actually have any kind of truth or bearing on what they're actually looking for,
Hmm.
but the headline caught their eye, and so that's where they went. And um, yeah,
Yeah.
it's sad but true.
And
Sad but true.
you can find anything there, but it may not even be real.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
That's actually why I love how our BNI works, because you get to have a trusted group of professionals who've been in business, and you know who to talk to. Like, every time I sit with our group, or I visited another group, like, I can hear the professionalism, I can hear the passion. So it's so easy to just be like, hey, you know who you should talk to? I have a guy. I have a guy.
Yeah,
I
I
have
have
a
a
lady.
guy.
I have a guy. I have a lady. And I've done it already. I've done it so many times.
Yeah, you and me both. I've been around the BNI for a really long time. I don't know if you knew, but I was actually the founding member of two groups.
Oh, really? Awesome. I
Yeah,
think I heard that. Yeah.
yeah. Was a director. So I've kind of been around the horn with BNI a little bit,
Love it.
a little
Love
bit.
it.
Yeah, but
Well, it's there because it works, right?
right, right. It's there because it works, and it works very
Exactly.
well. There's a whole group of trusted individuals, not only in your own group, but you can get outside when you're looking for somebody that has that's not in your group. You can usually find them in a neighboring group. So
I
it
love
is,
that.
yeah,
I
yeah,
love that. It's been my Yelp now, because I stopped using Yelp. I just look at BNI.
yep, absolutely. Yeah, and it has led to many people calling me the mayor of Stockton because I know everybody.
That makes sense. They should give you the key.
Exactly.
I love that.
Yes. So let's see. We covered. I think we've got. Have you got anything else you'd like people to know about?
Let me think a little bit. So I think I covered, mostly everything. The thing about, insurance companies, like I said, the rabbit hole is because there's over 700, 900 companies out there. So people look at me and they're like, well, how about the one online that I could do for like 10 minutes and it gives me $10 plan? I'm like, hey, you sure you want to trust them? Because are they strong? Are they stable? Can they be there throughout anything? Like, we're in a recession, right?
Yeah.
Or are they going to outlast the recession? So those are one thing, when it comes to it, there's always a list of things that people should look for. Strong stability. How long have they been around? Are they, do they offer all the plans you're looking for? Or are they just looking to give you one? Right. What else are they adding besides of that? Because a lot of people end up having to pay extra for all these riders, but maybe that's what fits for their life, but they have to make sure that that's proper and makes sense for them, and make sure they're getting the whole picture, right? Because one of the most recent things I found is a lot of people have term, but they forget that they've gotten it when they're young, but now they have to renew it at their new age in health. So people always have to make sure you're on top of what you have. If it expires, if you're not paying enough premiums, you don't want it to lapse, especially if that's important. So doing an annual review, that's important, because your needs may change, because it changes when you have a baby. It changes when you have a house and you get one with C-Ray, right? It changes like in every milestone of your life. Maybe you don't need such a high life insurance one day. Then you can always reduce your contributions. So, I mean, that's the best advice I can give, is really just to, as your needs change, make sure you're checking in with your insurance agent to see if you need more, or what else they can help you with. Because we also help with those old 401ks, because that's in the life industry, that annuities are part of that.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
if anyone has been sitting on their 401k, they can actually move it into something that saves them from the market, or actually gives them more value, instead of losing it
So
losing it to
your life insurance is an annuity,
yeah.
or
So
you also do
I
annuities?
also do annuities. So
Okay.
with my license, I can also do annuities.
Okay. Okay. And annuities are really a great protection against the market.
A real great protection against the market. So, when people if they've looked at their last couple years, I know it comes back, but if people have changed jobs and they're just kind of letting their plans sit there, I mean, there's a better way. So again, check with a professional and see if that fits for you. But those are ways to kind of guarantee yourself an income when you're retired, and
Right.
it looks pretty nice. I moved mine too. I'm excited for retirement.
There you go. There you go. We all gotta look at that. Some of us it's a lot closer than others.
Yeah, yeah, but that's okay. We can always figure it out, right? And
Yeah.
the planning of one thing too is when we talk about retirement, people always talk about retirement, but they don't plan for it. So make sure you're that's in the lines of finance itself, but diversifying your portfolio with houses, with like insurance, with other investments or things like that, like protection, and get that going so that you're covered on all bases.
That's a great advice. It really is. Oftentimes people don't look at the whole plan, the whole
Yeah.
picture.
Oh yeah.
You know, people ask me when I'm going to retire, and I said I am retired. I enjoy what I'm doing so much that but you're always doing something. I said, yeah, that's fun for me. That's
Yeah,
good for me.
that's what
I
you
enjoy that.
Yeah, I just got asked that question yesterday because there's that billion something dollar lottery going around, and then I didn't buy any tickets, but I was asked like, "Hey, what would you do with that extra money? Would you still work?" I was like, "Yeah," like, I still love what I do. I'd still do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. I'd
yeah,
just be able to choose maybe not doing it quite as often.
exactly. I do it on a yacht in the Mediterranean or something,
There you
cruising
go.
around,
There you go.
cruising around everywhere. That's a
Well, our
retirement.
other guest hasn't been very talkative.
Oh, he's stuck on cars. So
Still checking out cars over there.
mhm, he's stuck on the movie Cars, so he's stuck a little bit. And if you can see, he has a little black eye because
Oh yeah.
he's entering those terrible twos. So he just jumps on everything, and then he like landed on the couch on the wood part of the couch. Boys. I guess this is what happens.
And we just bounce right back and keep on going.
Oh
Like
yeah,
the ever ready bunny.
still did the same thing the next day, like a couple hours after. It was like nothing happened.
I
Hello.
remember back when I was young, my brother and I don't know, a couple other kids were out by this shed, and my brother got a cape on and decided he was going to fly like Superman and jumped broke his collarbone. And of course, they put the cast on you, got you all held back like this, and he had to be real careful. And he was whining and crying, and the doctor told
Oh
him that
my.
he was, I think it had been 7 or 8 weeks, whatever, but it was short of what it should have been on. And the doctor asked him, he says, "Are you going to be good and not be crazy? I can take it off a little early, but you have to calm down." "Oh yeah, doc. Oh yeah, doc." He went right home and got up on the bunk bed, jumped off, and broke it again.
Oh my. Oh my. Yep. That's a boy thing. I've been experiencing this every day for the past few weeks now that Logan he just has a mind of his own, and he's a daredevil. Likes to jump off anything that has a ledge. It's like jumps right off. Like I was sitting on the
Gotta
floor
jump.
earlier, and then the couch is there, but he's just jumping on me, and I'm like, what is happening behind me? But it's fun.
Well, Krystle, thank you so much for your time today. I've really enjoyed having you on, and you've brought a lot of value to everybody. If you'd like to come back, let me know, and we'll get you on as a regular if you would like. That'd be wonderful.
Awesome. Well, thank you, C. Ray, for letting me join this and be part of your live podcast. This has been a lot of fun, so I'm excited. I do it again.
Great. I would appreciate that. You've been scrolling down below, but if you'd like to give everybody all your contact information, because some people like to hear it rather than read it.
Yeah, of course. Krystle-Anne Valdez, everybody. I am a broker under Premier Financial Alliance, but my number is 408-334-9960. So if you want to text me, you could try to call me, but leave a voicemail because, you never know who to call back.
You call them all back.
Yeah, you're right. Except for there's some people I don't call back because I don't understand what they're saying.
All right, everybody. Thanks again, Krystle. All of you remember C. Ray to find your perfect home. Go out and be the sunshine in somebody's rainy day. You can get hold of me at 209 3000311. Wow. I got lost there for a minute. Or c.ray@yourperfecthomegroup.com. Thanks again, everybody, and go out and be the sunshine in somebody's rainy day.
Bye, everyone.